Okay, so are you ready to get a little bit spooky?
Always ready for a good scare.
All right. Well, we asked you guys for your favorite horror films of all time.
Yeah, and wow, you delivered.
You really did. So today we are diving deep into your list of the best horror films ever made.
It's fascinating, right?
Oh, yeah.
This list, I mean, it's more than just jump scares and gore.
Yeah.
It's like a window into our collective nightmares, you know?
Yeah.
Like what really freaks us out as humans.
Okay, so first up, we have a true classic.
Oh yeah, this one is iconic.
The Exorcist.
I mean, come on.
This film's reputation precedes it, and for good reason.
Totally.
But I think we need to go beyond the head spinning in the pea soup.
Right.
Like, what made The Exorcist such a phenomenon?
Well, I think you got to look at the time period. You know, it was the late 60s, early 70s. There was this like a cultural shift happening. People were questioning traditional faith and authority.
Right.
And The Exorcist, it just like tapped right into those anxieties. You know, I asked this question, what happens when evil like infiltrates the most sacred spaces?
Like the family.
Exactly, your home, your
It
family.
makes you feel so vulnerable.
Absolutely. And then there are all those rumors about the production,
Oh, yeah.
cursed sets and accidents.
Do you think that was true, or was that like a marketing ploy?
Who knows? But it definitely blurred those lines between fiction and reality.
Yeah, and added to that whole like feeling of dread.
For sure. Like even if you knew it was fake, there's a part of you that's like, what if?
Totally. I mean, I remember hearing stories about people fainting in the theaters.
Oh yeah.
It really got under people's skin. You know what else is crazy about that film?
What's that?
The practical effects. I mean, today we're all about CGI,
Right.
but back then, seeing Reagan's contortions and transformations like that, it just felt so real, so visceral.
Exactly. It wasn't just the visual scares, it was like the psychological torment too.
Yeah.
That sense of helplessness against this like pure evil force.
Yeah, and that leads us perfectly into another film that really messes with your mind.
Oh yeah, this one will stay with you.
The Shining.
Yeah. Genius.
Okay, so I am a huge Kubrick fan,
Yeah.
and The Shining is visually stunning.
Absolutely.
But like, how does he create that unsettling atmosphere? It's more than just jump scares, you know?
Oh yeah, he is a master of mood and tone.
It's this constant feeling of dread.
Right.
What's the secret sauce?
Well, I think for one, those long Steadicam shots, you know, they just like draw you in.
Yeah.
And then the way he uses color and symmetry,
Yes.
it makes everything feel so off kilter and
You're
unsettling.
never quite sure what's real.
Exactly. And then you add Jack Nicholson to the mix.
Oh, man.
Jack
yeah.
Torrance, legendary performance.
Right, he completely blurs the line between sanity and madness. It's interesting, though, Stephen King, the author of the book,
Yeah.
wasn't a fan of Kubrick's adaptation.
Right. I think he felt like Kubrick missed the point of the story.
Really?
Yeah, like he focused too much on Jack's descent into madness and not enough on the supernatural elements.
That's so interesting how one story can have such different interpretations.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what makes The Shining so fascinating. Like it's open to interpretation.
It definitely keeps you thinking about it long after you've seen it.
Totally.
Yeah.
It sticks with you, for sure.
All right, so we've talked about demonic possession, a haunted hotel, and a descent into madness. Now let's shift gears a little bit
Okay, where are we going?
to a more modern horror film,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Hereditary. Some people call it an instant classic. Have you seen this one?
Oh yeah, Hereditary is intense.
It really is.
But it's so well made.
What do you think makes it so impactful?
Well, it's not just about the scares, you know? It's like they're using horror to explore these deeper themes like grief and mental illness and the weight of family secrets.
Yeah, it gets under your skin.
Absolutely. And those supernatural elements, I mean, they're terrifying, but they almost feel secondary.
Okay.
Yeah, to the real horrors of like inherited trauma.
Right. And the whole disintegration of the family. Ugh, it's so disturbing.
Oh yeah, it stays with you. There are some scenes in Hereditary, I won't spoil anything,
You dare.
but they are absolutely burned into my memory.
Yes. The way the director Ari Aster builds tension and the sound design, oh my gosh.
It's masterful. He knows how to play with your expectations. It gives you just enough to make you squirm.
And then bam, out of nowhere.
It's a slow burn, but when the scares hit, they hit hard.
All right, so from one film that gets under your skin to another,
Okay, let's hear it.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Have you seen this one?
Oh yeah, a classic. Total classic.
This one is a completely different beast.
Right.
It's raw, it's gritty, it almost feels like you're watching a documentary. It's such a contrast to the more polished psychological horror we've been talking about.
Well, that's what makes it so effective.
Yeah.
It's like a masterclass in minimalist storytelling.
How so?
It just throws you right into the action. No time for exposition.
No backstory, nothing. Just terrible.
Right. And that documentary-style camera work,
Oh, yeah.
it just makes you feel like you're right there with the character.
I mean, you're being hunted.
Exactly. And it preys on our most primal fears. Being hunted, isolated, at the mercy of the unknown.
The unknown is always scarier than the revealed.
Always.
Okay, we've got one last film on our list,
Hit me with it.
and it's a big one.
Okay, let's do it.
Psycho. The granddaddy of suspense. Directed by the master himself,
Hitchcock.
Hitchcock. And that shower scene.
Oh, come on. Iconic.
I mean, talk about groundbreaking. Even all these years later, it's still utterly terrifying. What do you think makes it so effective?
Well, I think Hitchcock really understood the power of suggestion.
Okay.
Like building tension through sound and editing and really playing with the audience's expectations.
Like, you think you know what's going to happen, and then bam.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that shower scene is like a textbook example.
Yeah, the rapid cuts, the music, the blood swirling down the drain.
Yeah.
It's pure cinematic brilliance.
Pure brilliance.
And then there's the twist. I can spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it.
Don't you dare.
But it completely changed the game. Psycho pretty much gave birth to the slasher genre.
And it explored some seriously dark psychology.
Right.
The monster isn't always some external force.
It can be human.
Exactly. It can be lurking right beneath the surface.
Okay, so we've gone from demonic possession to haunted hotels
Yeah.
to isolated backwoods and into the darkest corners of the human psyche.
What a journey.
It has been a journey.
Yeah.
Each of these films has a unique take on fear.
Right.
But they all tap into something primal, something universal. They reflect our anxieties.
Our vulnerabilities.
Yeah, and our fascination with the unknown.
That's so true. And that's why horror is such a powerful genre. You know, it constantly evolves, or it reflects like the changing fears and anxieties of our times.
So this deep dive was really just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, yeah. We've just scratched the surface. So now I have a question for you guys listening.
Hit us with it.
What does your favorite horror film say about you? What scares you the most and why? Think about it.
That is